the Imo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, is asking the electoral body, INEC, to rescind its decision to hold supplementary elections for the Ikeokwu and Njaba federal constituency of the state. In a statement, the party leaders are calling INEC to declare the PDP's candidate, Ugonna Ozuribo, winner of the election for the federal constituency and not allow their mandate to be stolen by the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state. The PDP insists that a breakdown of INEC's declared results and outstanding votes show that Ozuribo clearly defeated his closest rivals, APC's Harry Wadike and Labour Party's Ozurumba Nwugo. They say the margin of lead by the PDP candidate was higher than the total votes in the areas where elections did not hold. They say the result was an outright win that does not warrant any rerun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Joining us now is the legal advisor of the PDP in Imo State, Barrister Kissinger Ikeokwu. Thank you very much for joining us on News Night tonight. But from what we gather, you are against a supplementary election in Imo State. Why is that?
There is no reason for supplementary election. This is over 35 days after election was conducted. In fact, INEC has not called for supplementary election in the areas it officially made so. Nkwere Isu Njaba Federal Constituency is not part of it. And of course, you know that the Electoral Act 2022 brought in a major innovation, which is the delivery of the results by transmission through beavers into the IREV. And if you read section 64 sub 456, you will see that the mandate of the electorates has been made to be sacrosanct and supersede every manipulation in the course of collation. That is to say, any conflict in the manual result being transmitted, once there is a conflict, the major repository that will be used to determine it is the one that was transmitted by the beavers. So as I'm talking to you, Nkwere local government was concluded, no problem. A declaration was made at the level of the local government. Wangele the same thing, Isu the same thing. In Njaba local government, which is the last that ought to be made before the final declaration of the federal constituency, we have the Form EC8As certified by INEC. As I'm talking to you, these are the Form EC8As.
Can we take a look at that?
You can take a look at them. These are the Forms EC8As. The results are even in the IREV as we are talking.
So what you're saying, very quickly, we'll let you land on that. Are you saying that transmission of beavers into IREV in Imo State was 100%? The same transmission on IREV that has been, a source of contention in many parts, at least 24 states in the country.
Of course, the complaint was mainly in the presidential election. Yeah. The IREV worked mostly for the Senate and the House of Reps, for the areas that were uploaded. Yeah. And as I'm talking to you, all were uploaded for the purpose of Nkwere Isu Njaba and Wangele. The only thing remaining are just 3 wards and 4 polling units. And what we are saying is, if you go by the Electoral Act, on the margin of lead principle, the total number of PVCs collected in the area is about 8,211. While the margin of lead of the PDP candidate, Honorable Ugonna Ozuribo, is about 10,727 votes. So there is no reason to even go and conclude the election in the 3 wards, because the margin of lead is way, way higher than the total PVCs collected in the area. Now what we're saying is INEC has given us certified true copies of all the polling unit results from EC8As for the areas, and they show that Honorable Ugonna Ozuribo is clean and good to be declared the candidate. So what we're asking is, what is being played out? What is playing out? So this is between the Imo State Resident Electoral Commission, and that's what we are interrogating. A lot is happening in Imo State whereby there are results as uploaded to the IREV, and there are different declarations in the House of Assembly election. Like in Idato South, Idato North, Isu, Abompise, in Ondimo local government. Somebody wins by the results taken from the polling units and uploaded to the BVAS, and someone else is being declared, and all these are orchestrated by only the Imo State Resident Electoral Commission. Only JA can explain why this magic is happening. Because
looking at the Electoral Act 64, which you quoted here,
well.
yes, 64 up to about 4B, everything lies with the presiding officer. Whether to reject, endorse any of these.
Well.
And you say so far, going by what has been given and the access your party has, everything is a-okay. But again, now this will also go beyond what you're going through in your state, because this is different from the National Assembly election which held February 25. Has your party, because you're the legal representative of the PDP in Imo State, have you reached out to the INEC chairman concerning this matter, which is clearly stated in the Electoral Act, has given you the right to say, please, now that we are all declared and dusted, let's have the results. Have you reached out to INEC?
Thank you very much,
and
Mr.
what has the response been?
Thank you, Mr. Suleiman. We have written petitions, and our petitions had gone up to the National Office of INEC. There have been interventions, there have been review. And all the review shows that elections were conducted in Unkwere, Isu, Njaba, and Wangele Federal Constituency. There is nothing that made it even for supplementary or for inconclusive. And it is only for the Resident Electoral Commissioner to bring the collation officer to conclude her duty.
So what's holding that?
The problem is the only person we need to ask that question is the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Imo State, Professor Sylvia Agu. Recently, we saw the orchestration of an order of an Imo State High Court. This order, you can see it from the face of it. This is the APC candidate suing in his personal capacity. There is no even APC as a party against one Professor Rosita Ijoma Okechukwu, which they purport is the an ad hoc returning officer for INEC, wherein they now got an interim injunction saying she should not make a declaration. So all these gimmicks are being playing out in the office of the Resident Electoral Commission.
So you're laying all of the blame at the doorstep of the Resident Electoral Commissioner.
Because
you're saying she's doing this all by herself, allegedly, and not in tandem with any external forces.
Very well. Definitely, because some people definitely must be the beneficiary. Of course, you can see a lawyer.
Who do you think are the beneficiaries?
The APC candidate, who is a lawyer,
right,
suing a returning officer in her personal capacity, and then they are orchestrating it, trying to design that INEC should not allow the returning officer.
So you say you've approached INEC, you've made a complaint formally before.
Very
that.
well.
What has been INEC's response?
INEC has laid everything at the doorsteps of the Resident Electoral Commissioner to go ahead and declare our candidate who has won this election the winner.
Is that what INEC said to your letter?
Everything, as I'm talking to you, there is nothing, no constitutional bar on Professor Sylvia Agu to allow the declaration of Honorable Ugonno.
Then INEC has not responded to your letter.
They have not responded, and it is for Professor Sylvia Agu because they have not cancelled the election. Neither have they ordered the election. Neither have they said there is a rerun in any part of the state. So the only person sitting on this is Professor Sylvia Agu. And I want to tell you, by this order of the Imo State High Court, INEC was not made a party. So it doesn't even come out at all. In any case, nothing, no court, not even the Supreme Court can stop the process of an election until there is a declaration.
So what options are you willing to take, apart from, of course, you're making a case here in the media?
We're calling on the National Chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission and my learned senior Festus Okoye to stand up and look at the activity of the REC in Imo State. Because she is bringing down, in fact, is a threat to democracy. This is over 35 days after an election. You refuse to make a declaration. This is the Njaba they are talking about. The Electoral Act is very clear. If there is a disruption in the process of transmission of the manual results from the polling units, you use what is in the BVAS and do the collation. And they, in their wisdom, has given us the certified true copy of all the from ECHAs. So we don't know what is waiting for the declaration. Not even an official statement why the electorates of Njab, Nkwere, Isu, Njab, Federal Constituency should not have their mandate declared.
All right, we'll of course give INEC the opportunity to state its own side of the matter. Barrister Kissinger Ikeokwu, State Legal Advisor, PDP, Imo State, thank you very much for joining us and wish you the very best.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.